Ayo, if my feet look ashy,
No,
I said if because they are. We go
airbrush.
airbrush it or something. You can tell the line where I stopped the lotion. Let's not talk about it.
I
had on a
can't see
different
it.
shoe
You have
earlier.
very sexy feet.
You
Thank
do,
you, girl.
I was
That
about to
means
say
so much
that.
coming from you.
And
They're
the shoe
like
that they're in.
yes.
Do you know if you have sexy feet or not? You have to go on Wiki Feet to see if somebody made a page on your behalf.
Wait a minute,
Wait,
guys.
what?
First of all, let's make sure we're recording because I have something to say.
Okay.
Are we
And I'm going to say it, and
You
we're not
look
going to go too
good.
deep. But Shan Boodram just said, I have sexy feet in this shoe, which is the exact shoe that my husband called old lady shoes.
Oh,
Remember I told you that story?
those are like sexy 50s shoes to me. Like it's giving like a floofy out
Maybe
dress.
that's why he was confused.
Yeah, what he meant is
The
they have
era.
a retro vibe, but they're definitely not old lady.
Old
It's got a
lady
point. It's got a
shoes.
stiletto.
Yes.
And my face. So then I got in trouble because I was like,
Not in
look at
trouble.
him like this.
Can you pronounce your last name?
Boodram.
Boodram. Okay.
It should kind of rhyme. Shan Boodram.
What's up, y'all? It's Ashley.
It's Melody.
And Cody here, and you've tapped into
The Mama's Den.
Oh man,
Welcome, everyone.
I know that's right.
Happy Monday, mamas. Welcome to the Mama's Den.
Yes. Okay, so we have a really good friend in the den today. And before we introduce our guest formally, who you guys have already heard from a little bit, let's introduce ourselves.
Okay.
Okay.
What's a gnat?
You got it. Mama of four.
No, you go.
Okay,
there's a gnat.
Ashley's fighting a gnat. Melly Mel is on her way. This is Cody Co. Okay, it's Melly Mel, Cody Co. Anyway,
That's cute.
this is Cody. I am a mama of 3 boys. I have 6-year-old twins, Aristotle and Langston, and 8-year-old Brooks. And, very affectionate, loving humans. I'm very grateful. Ashley?
Okay, well, my name is Ashley Chia. I have 4 daughters, a 16-year-old Amira, 8-year-old Azara, 7-year-old Asia, and a 3-year-old Atalia.
It's a lot
Okay.
of people. Do you
Yeah.
even remember what she just said?
That's crazy.
There was an Natalia.
There you go. Amira, Azara, Asia, and Natalia. Yeah.
Ages 3 to 16.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, you're
Yeah.
a superhero.
Am I?
You
I
are.
have super stretch marks, but
Oh,
that's
gosh.
about it.
Is that
Just
true?
say thank
Yeah,
you.
girl, your body is amazing. I just need to tell you that every time you're
Oh,
on
thank
Instagram,
you.
I like literally
That's true.
be staring at it. And sometimes I rewatch videos just to look at your body like, wow, God really was like, yeah, I'm gonna make her pretty smart and have a banging ass body
Let
after
me say
kids.
something to say. Well, my name is Shan.
Welcome, Shan.
I have 2 daughters,
Yes.
Ryu and Zaya, 2 and 4 years old.
Aw.
And stretch marks are hereditary.
Yes,
Oh,
my mom
yes.
doesn't have any though, so I must have got them from my daddy's side.
Yeah, so it's not a matter of like you didn't do enough
Yeah.
cocoa butter or baby
Yeah.
balm. It's just either you get them or you don't.
Mhm.
And I say this to say because I had kids at 35 and 37, and for a long time I had a fear that having kids would mean, losing the body that I loved.
Yeah.
And my body has gotten better in every capacity.
I would agree. I mean, I don't know what it
Every
looked like before, but
capacity.
it's a good
Well,
body.
I just feel stronger. I had an amazing time with incredible boobs. They're not there anymore, but now I have these inserts, so I just
There you
keep
go.
it going. But
Yeah.
I even kind of like where they're at now because of all the stretching from breastfeeding. My
Mm-hmm.
nipples now poke out.
Mine too.
Wait, as opposed to what? What did they do before?
They were
Sometimes they go
flat.
Oh.
Before, if I wore like a shirt with no bra, you wouldn't see the like.
Mine
nipple.
just decide
Do you
what
know
to do
how
depending on the
Skims
moment.
is selling a bra that has got?
Girl,
Nipple
yes.
inserts? Why am I sweating?
I've seen
Jesus,
that.
That's crazy.
You're excited.
I am. When she said nipples, that gets me going.
Are you a nipple enjoyer?
Yeah, I like it. It's the weirdest thing. I'm just like obsessed with women's bodies. But I like, yeah.
They call that
Wait,
queer.
can we
You know
circle
what, it
back?
might be. But the thing is that I can't fully commit because I don't even like. I have a thing about vaginas. I think they're like, this is not. So it would just be
They're
like
not it.
topical queerness. Listen, they know I've lipped a stripper's nipples. I'm
She
into it.
has.
Yeah.
And didn't you get sick because the glitter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
shouldn't lip
Taking a
strangers'
step
nipples.
back, guys. Taking a step back because number one, Shan know how to make this her conversation. She
Oh,
gonna
good.
ask us questions.
I want her to.
She already got you because now you talk about your stripper nipple situation. But let's talk about Shan because
Yes.
first of all, what you just said about even the stretch marks being hereditary, I feel like you know everything. Like everything that has to do with bodies. And
Yeah.
okay, so is that what it is? Tell our audience a little bit about your background and
Yes.
why you know everything from the toe to the hair.
My face definitely made a face because I know nothing about finances or most things in life. It's actually so fascinating that I was driving here today and I thought, without GPS, it's as though I've never even been here before. Like I've never even heard of this city. I literally could not get back to my house if my life depended on
That's
it.
crazy.
But
What?
there were so many highways, so many turns, so many roads. I would have to
LA.
live here
Yeah.
if the internet shut down. So
Yeah.
I don't know everything for sure, but I have spent the past 21 years learning about intimacy, sex, bodies, and relationships. I graduated from school for print journalism. In journalism school, they say write what you know. So if you know politics, you become a political pundit. You know sports, you become a sportscaster. And I was really reflecting on what I knew. I'm like, I think I know fucking. So how do I write about that? I graduated from school. I put out a book. And then I got certified as a sex educator in Canada, moved to California. I got my master's in psychology. And then I became an ASEX certified sex educator and an ABS certified sexologist. And the fun part of this is I learn something new every single day.
Yeah.
So
Wait, I need to know the difference between the sexologist and the sex educator. What is that? Or is it just the title?
it's
and
just
the
like
degree?
it's just different certifications,
Okay.
but by and large, like if I were a licensed sexologist, then I could take people's medical, what's what I'm looking for, insurance, and then I could prescribe and diagnose, but I'm not.
Oh,
So I'm an
okay.
educator who also is certified as a sexologist, which essentially just means I took something called a SAR, which is a sexual attitude reassessment course, which is a compulsory to becoming a sexologist. So it's like an extra little thing, but
So-
I learn a lot,
Yeah.
and I learn something new every day from people. So I think that's a fascinating thing to know that when we think about sex ed, we think about 2 weeks in high school, and we need so much more information long before
Girl,
that,
facts.
Girl.
and so much more information after that. And so I'm hoping to inspire other people to become their own expert.
Okay, so as a mother, I'm thinking, when did you decide that you know about fucking, and also
Asking for your teenager?
asking for my teenager, and then also though, how did that look? Like speaking to your parents and like your career, what's that like with your relationship with your parents and you being a sexologist or?
Not good.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Not good. But I think that that's like, and what we're going to be talking about today.
Okay.
It's just kind of a choose your own adventure that I wanted to bring to us.
Girl.
Okay.
And it is an adventure today.
Because we can either talk about from mother's perspective, sexual development in children. So what we should know as moms in terms of what's normal, what's not normal, what kind of conversations to be having at what different ages. Or we can talk about as mothers, like keeping it spicy and interesting and bringing new things into the bedroom and libido.
Oh, yes, dress. Oh, my God.
I just wear heels because I know
Girl.
I'm a short-ass bitch today.
Don't hold
on.
up. What is happening?
I got some heels. I'm about to go
You're
put them on.
so cute. What is this dress?
My bag. They're in the black bag at the bottom.
Oh, my gosh. You're
So beautiful.
Thanks, guys. I
Love this dress on.
Melanie is in the building.
had flip-flops on, and then I decided that I was going to be tall.
You're so cute.
I'm about to put my
guys.
The
heels on.
nails
Watch, she
match
bringing
the
them to me.
feet.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh.
you know, the truth is, we'll tell some secrets today. I never wear open-toe shoes because I generally never have, I do match them, but most times when the girls are having the toes out, I'm not one of them. I'm always a sneakers girl. And I hide behind the sneakers. But it's summer, so now my toes are
Do you
done
not
and
like your feet or you just don't like painting them?
Oh no, I like my feet and I do always have them painted, but sometimes they're not presentable. Like there's, one might lose a whole color.
Oh, do you
Wait,
get gel on
I
your
don't
toes?
get gel.
Oh, that's why.
I think
Okay.
it's really important to note. Shan says I have sexy feet. I just want to make sure
You do
everyone-
have
Shan
very
has a
sexy
foot
feet.
fetish.
I do. I've never had someone at least say it that plainly. I try to dance around it, but I probably do just have a foot fetish.
Well, the way you said it said it as if you were interested in her feet. So I believe that because you
It was
really
giving,
zeroed
it was
in
giving
on
expert though,
it's-
expert in sexual feet.
But I
that
try to
was a
like
compliment to
shroud
the
it
heart.
in like it's a feeling of closeness. I'm like, oh, it's not about sex. It's more
Yeah,
just
yeah.
about feeling close to you. But maybe it really is.
Oh.
Maybe I'm just trying to like not make you feel weird.
I could also be using the wrong terminology. But
No, I
you
think you're right.
You
I
like
think you're
feet. I
right.
do know that.
I do like feet.
I do know
Yeah.
that.
Wait, how do you two know each other? Tell the audience.
Well, I was just on the phone with my dad, and that is how we know each other. Her mom and my dad used to work together.
Aw. Okay, we're Canadians.
Yes, we're Canadian.
And we're Guyanese.
Hey.
You're Guyanese as well?
Yes, we're Guyanese as well. Mhm.
Come on.
But Melanie, my mom knew Melanie first.
Yeah.
And so she used to come home and she was obsessed with you
Aw.
and was so enamored by you. And then I knew every single step of your journey via broadcast by my mom. So I feel
Wait,
like
how
we're
long ago?
damn.
Teenage years.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Teenagers. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's been a
Do you
long
guys
time.
know about what was your first band?
Oh Lord. I was in a girl group. Yes, I was.
We
in my
found that
teenagers.
out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, the group was called Exquisite.
What was the hit song?
You had a hit
it was
song?
called No Regrets. Yes, it was a hit. It was a hit song in
It
Canada.
was a hit song. It was a big
It
take.
was a hit song in Canada.
We're so gonna find this. This is going up
We're
on
gonna find
social in the episode.
Oh please, so please.
We like to find new
Yes.
I
things
feel
out
like
about
if you
Melanie
start
all the
singing
time.
it, I'll be able to finish it off.
I'm not gonna start singing
Okay,
it.
all right, fair enough.
Can you start
But I
singing
like-
it?
I don't.
She
I
doesn't.
Can't.
She
I
can't.
know.
She can finish it.
That's like Krisha Turner. So I was someone trying to talk about her hit song. She had some kind of song that was a big moment in Canada. Something about apology, but someone have to start it and then I could finish it.
Hers was "Don't Call Me Baby." Wasn't it? Don't call me baby anymore.
What you gonna do with my love? What you gonna do with that?
Okay, we were talking about a lot of things. I heard something about what we're here to talk about today, and then I changed my flip flops.
Okay.
So
And we love
And
this.
I put on
for
a.
us.
I said,
not you changing shoes mid-show.
I said I'm not
What
going to
is
throw the
going
bitch in a flat. The fuck.
what? These shoes are so cute, though.
Girl, I
Is this
know,
a Zara?
right?
Did you get up and leave, or there was just like behind your
She
chair?
bought them for
Oh
me.
wow,
That's-
that's
no,
what
girl,
the
These
is
I
for. That's
found from.
amazing.
You'll never believe how much these cost. I was in Nordstrom and they were on sale for $30 and they
Baby,
were originally $200.
Send me the link because these are very cute.
That is
Well, I don't know. I have to
hilarious.
find the link because I found them in the store. You
Girl,
know,
it's fine. I'm gonna find a brand and just go on the Googles.
Okay, so
Okay.
Shan gave us like an either or moment, and I'm really trying to get a both moment.
Talk to me
So
about-
we're gonna just jump in.
Do you feel like we have time for both? I feel like either or.
But we're definitely gonna start. We all agree we want
you
to
are
talk about the
such an
parenting
Aries.
of
Okay.
the children. But I think Ashley's question kind of gets there, right? Which was when you were 21 or in college, and you were like, "I know fucking, so I'm gonna study it."
Yes.
How did we? To Ashley's question was like, "How you know that? What did you know exactly?"
yeah.
I feel like this lends perfectly into our conversation because I was very sexually precocious as a kid. And when your kid has a natural affinity for the piano, you get them piano lessons. When your kid has natural affinity for the body, you send them to a Catholic school. So that was essentially, I feel like by the time I was 6 or 7, my Barbies were banned from being naked. I was like addicted to soap operas. And none of it was coming from a place of harm, of sexual abuse or assault, or I just genuinely was fascinated by the human body and by human touch. And I learned very early on, like, it was a part of me that made my parents very mad. And then, of course, you go to a Catholic school and you ultra learn that, like, it makes God hate you,
Yeah.
right? Like, and even touching your own body or exploring your own body. So essentially, I kind of like locked that part of myself up. Then you hit 14 years old, and now you have raging hormones plus this natural interest with the knowledge that this part of me is going to hurt the people who I love the most. So I'm just going to make it a secret. So I watched tons of porn. I always say my sex education was Coldest Winter Ever, Fly Girl by Omar Tyree, any book by Eric Jerome Dickey that I could read. And if anyone's ever read these books before, like in Coldest Winter Ever, she has sex for the first time and orgasms after 2 pumps. And then 4 more pumps later and she's melting on the floor. So I was like, got it, copy and paste. This is what sex is going to be like. So
Yeah.
I took all that information on. And when I started to be sexual in a secretive way, because I didn't want, of course, to offend the people that I loved, it was really disappointing and really hurtful. And by the time I was, 17, 18 years old, I had like 7 sexual partners. I had a sexual assault experience that happened to me. And no orgasms, low self-esteem. I'd been to the sexual health clinic multiple times for scares, and I was like, okay, like let's take a moment, because either
And doing all this sort of in secret because your parents were not
Yeah.
supportive. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, in secret, yes, but they did find out that I had sex for the first time because someone told on me, and I got in so much trouble.
Yeah.
Which I want to bring that full circle. So I think I told you a story about that, but I had sex at 16 years old, and I had it at a track meet, and honestly, at the time, I think I reframed it as negative, but now in my adult years, I was like, if I told you guys this story, it sounds like something out of Sex in the City. You know what I mean? Like, it all kind of tracks with my original interest and confidence in this area that I feel like was heavily discouraged or just looked at as through a negative lens versus she knows something special about the human connection, human body. And we can scaffold that to make it something positive, or we can make her feel very negative and shameful about it.
I have a question. The question is, do you feel like this negative connotation comes because of the age?
Safety.
Safety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Safety.
And I would even venture to say that it's religion, based. I think a lot of when just growing up with like a lot of Black aunties and stuff, every conversation that's centered around sex is centered around religion. Of God doesn't want you to do that. You need to wait until you're married because this is what they're taught, and this is kind of what's pumped into our culture. So if you think about it, most people's guilt with most things goes back to whatever their faith is, right? You know what I mean? Their feelings about homosexuality, their feelings about premarital sex, their feelings about abortion, it's all centered around whatever religion they have. So I would say that the fear of a parent, if you're growing up with, like super religious parents, that is usually, that's what their religion is telling them. So now they're telling their children.
I think two things that make us uncomfortable, we don't want to deal with.
Yeah.
Especially with our children.
You
It's like
pass it off to someone else.
you
something
literally,
else.
right, you just don't deal with it, or you expect, the school will talk about
Yeah.
it or whatever, and you just kind of hands off it, which is harmful. Or worse, you get angry, right? And
course.
you make it the kid's fault. And I think we've all seen that, and I think we all parent differently as a result.
But that anger is fear too. It's not even really anger.
Yeah.
It's just fear.
But it's
because they
fear
don't
for your
know.
child. Like
Yes.
I empathize with my parents. Like I genuinely do. They were in their 20s. The messaging that they got, they were both victims of child sexual abuse. And so if you see your kid have an interest towards this, it's just red flags and danger.
Of course.
And if you never go and seek out the information, which of course they didn't have the internet back then, like I get it. It sucked that I experienced it, but I totally get it.
Yeah.
But when I think about what you said, when you said the experience of, if I'd have told you guys this story, it'd sound like something out of Sex and the City. But at 16, is that the experience you think 16-year-olds should be allowed to have? Like, in your opinion, like, do you feel like that should be their entry point to sex? Is there like a safe, healthy entry point to sex at 16 or at any age as a teenager?
Well, I brought with me the guide that I love so much, which was a big freeing moment for me because when I studied sexology years later, there's a course I took that was age by age normal sexual development. And so for so long, I thought that I was like deviant, I was wrong, there was something wrong with me or bad with me. And even when I got older and reclaimed it, there was still a part of you that kind of felt that like, but I'm a little off, right? And then I took this course and I was like, I was right smack in the middle of what the average is. Maybe sometimes a little ahead of the average or the curve, but I wasn't like 10 standard deviations away from what the point of normalcy was. So I remember that because at 30, I talked to my parents and I was like, hey, like when I started walking at 10 months old, did you push me down? Because you weren't ready for me to develop?
Dang, not the Jedi Uno reverse.
Oh, child.
Right? It's like that my body was ready to do something. And that is so terrifying. When your kids start walking, what? Like, they don't have the cognition to understand the world, to understand dangers, to understand stairs. Their legs are wobbly. But at the end of the day, that's how development works. It's not your job as a parent to stop it or slow it.
Yeah.
It is to scaffold it and to
Yeah.
teach them, to put guardrails up. So I wish that was provided for me so that not that I wouldn't develop as fast, but that I could have done it in a safer way. My first sexual experience had positive elements, but I didn't use a condom. That was scarring for me. I really believed deeply that I had AIDS for months. And I went to a sexual health clinic and I was bawling my eyes out. And they were like, did something happen to you? But it was just all of the of course I'm going to get it because God told me not to. My parents told me not to. And of course I was going to. So anyways, long story short, I don't think that my parents did anything wrong. I just think they didn't have the right information, which is why I'm very passionate about empowering parents with the right information around what's average so they know what to expect.
Okay, well, I have a question as a mother of a 16-year-old. It's also, I lost my virginity when I was 17. And so I feel like I didn't lose it. No, I lost it.
Girl, what?
It's gone.
You know what we call it now? A sexual debut.
I was just about to say,
That
I was
wasn't a
like, do we
sexual
still
debut.
use
No,
it?
I
You
lo-
sound
no, I
very
li- I
virginity.
lost it.
Because where did
That's fair.
No, it was lost.
can we
Into
talk about the word
abyss.
virginity though? Like, where does this come from?
Wait, hold on. Wait, I do want to ask my question to go to that. No, I was going to say, do you think that for me, when I look at my 16-year-old, I don't feel like she's ready to have sex, but that's just my opinion based on my assessment of the things that she does. However, I feel like as someone who had sex at 17, I wish that I didn't because I'm also tired of having sex, but that's a whole nother story. But that's why I've been doing it for too long. Like, come on, I need a break.
Girl,
Shit, when you
take a
start
break.
When you start early, you get burnt out. Like, damn, I've been
that's
doing this
fair. I
shit since I
actually
was
like this
17
a
years
lot.
old. I've been sucking it since I was 17. I want a break. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, my point is that I feel like I don't think this is my own personal opinion without, a master's and all of the accolades that you have. I don't think that children should be doing things when their frontal lobe isn't fully developed. I don't think people should be buying cigarettes at 18. So that's my thing is, do you think that it's safe or smart for a child to engage in sex when their mind isn't fully developed? Like they don't truly know what they're doing. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think aspirationally you could probably say that. And I'll say both. I've spoken to people who are late bloomers, and it was a positive thing for them because their frontal lobe was developed and they were able to then make better rational decisions. And I've spoken to many people. I had Tika on my podcast. She was on here as well too, right?
Sumter?
Tika
Yeah. We love her.
And Tika Sumter was like, being a late bloomer is one of the worst things to happen to me because I didn't know how to advocate for myself. And even when I was in relationships, I was a mute. I didn't know my body or know how to ask for things. And so I don't know if the goal with sex and relationships is like abstain as long as possible.
Yeah.
I always remember I went to this conference and it was like one of those like internet people conferences. And so parents come along with kids and there was this group of dads there for these like TikTok, girls like between the ages of like 13 to 17, whatever. And they were all wearing shirts that said DAD, and the acronym was DAD, and it was Dads Against Dating. And
That's creepy. It's creepy as hell.
but that's kind of normal. It's the normal thought in our society.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you're too young. I feel like there's an age appropriate way. And again, with development, like when you're 11 months old starting to walk, we put up guardrails, we put up safety nets, we have conversations.
Yeah.
We do it in a structured environment, but I'm still allowing development to happen as it would.
Yes.
But I am still, and I think at the end of the day, I'm not going to say this against you, but
No, say.
every parent that I talk to is like, yeah, but not my kid.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
no, listen.
yeah, the other kids are, but like not my kid.
No, my mom, so I raised my daughter very much the way my mom raised me because my mom's family kind of like rejected her as well when she made decisions. So my mom was like very open with us, like, listen, if you get pregnant, if you have sex, come and talk to me. Like she would tell us safe ways. That's how I'm with my daughter. I'm like, I would like for you to wait. However, if you decide to engage, like these are the things that you need to do. Like they need to wear a condom. You need to, if you don't feel good, if you don't want to in the middle, you're always allowed to stop. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing it. So I have like, it's very open. I'm not naive to think that my daughter may have sex before she's, committed
you're
or
ready
whatever.
to?
Yeah, that's not even the thing. I just want her to be.
Not before she's ready, before you're ready.
Oh, she's gonna have sex before I'm ready because I never want her to have sex.
Right.
I want her to live in a nunnery somewhere. No one ever touch her. But I just want her to be safe and to feel confident and comfortable enough to speak to me and her
I'm
father
going to challenge
about
you on
it.
that. Do you really believe that, or are you half joking?
What do you mean? Believe
Do
what?
you really not want your daughter to have a
No,
great-
I want her. It just feels weird to say, but I want her to have those experiences. I want
Positive.
Yeah.
passion, yes, and someone who adores her. Like I actually pray about her not being assaulted and not being in violent relationships. I have a very same prayer that I say for all my children. Like, God, please let my daughters meet partners. And I just say partners. I don't know where they're going to go in life and who they're going to be with, but like that love them, that respect them, that honor them, that they feel safe with. Like that's what I want for them. I always tell her sex is not bad. It could be really good, but it could be bad with the wrong person.
But just like falling down when you're learning to walk,
Yes.
we absolutely don't want to see that. And we don't want them to have a negative sexual
No.
experience.
But she
I
might.
think the reality is that
She might.
Exactly.
She might have a negative sexual experience with someone she loves too. That's
Yeah.
But there's
a
ranges
reality.
of
Yes.
negative.
Yes.
There's falling
Yeah,
down the
yeah.
stairs,
Right.
and there's falling on
there's-
grass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There you go.
So
yeah.
can we talk about? You said you created a guide.
Yes, I
And I would
mine
love-
actually.
You better pull it out.
Yes.
Come on, Oprah.
Okay.
Here
Pillow.
they are.
I actually thought I wanted to make
Okay,
printouts.
move your
I'm not
mic
prepared
back
enough
to
as
you,
I
baby.
wanted to, but I'm going to just read this cheat sheet.
Yes,
And then I'd
please.
love your just general reflections afterwards.
yes.
I'm going to go as fast as I can, okay?
Okay.
So in utero, as you know, is usually first instance of masturbation. So they have pictures of it's not masturbation, it's just genital exploration. There's no sexual intent. But
They're
between
touching themselves.
So 0 to 2 years old is just like the same way you would touch your shoulders, right? You might notice genital exploration at the time. 3 to 5 is curiosity about others' genitals and further exploring one's own. You may start to have conversations around what's appropriate touch and not appropriate touch in public places.
Yeah. We just talked about this last night. And I've told them about that article. We don't touch our vulvas at the table.
Yes.
Which and so I love you going fast, but I think I want to jump into every age group because what is important to me in there, right, is like, okay, what are those conversations look like? I know I'm a person who does a lot of research and I've got these books. And so as soon as I can, I'm reading an article or a book that's like, why are all 3 of my boys, and I'm just putting them on blast, but they're 6 and 8, constantly touching their penises. They don't seem to like want anything. They just be touching them. And so what are the conversations that we should be having at that age? I think right now we're in the 3 to 5 on your guide. So when we see these things and we want to create a healthy relationship to touching yourself, or to them literally being like, let me see your vagina, because they used to do that all the time to me, to other little kids. Thankfully, people I knew, so I'd be like, they're just very curious, don't show them. Please don't oblige, but it's okay. So what are the conversations that we should be having with them about like when that's okay or when it's not?
Yeah, I think we go heads, shoulders, knees and toes, and vulvas, and penises, and scrotums,
Okay.
and elbows, right? It's just a part of the learned vernacular. And I don't want to gloss over this conversation to say that, childhood sexuality is normal, because at the end of the day, a vast majority of people have a very abnormal experience with their childhood sexual rearing. Every 9 minutes, they discover that somebody has been sexually assaulted and proved. And only 3 out of 5 people who were sexually assaulted in their childhood will ever even talk about it. So it's extremely prevalent. And they actually say that one of the number one ways to prevent sexual abuse from occurring to your child is to give them the correct language for their bodies.
Yes.
So we shared. I shared this in our chat about this. There was a man who specialized in this. He's like, you want to know how to protect your children, you give them the language,
yeah.
and you make them. You don't shame your children for challenging you and for speaking up, because what that does is it can train them to be complacent with authority figures.
Yes.
And so people who will take advantage of them because they are older in a position of authority. And so by your children having the language, they will be like, no, you can't touch my penis. No,
Yeah.
you can't touch my vulva. And that is like, that's a deterrent to people that are like, wait, this child has the information, they have the confidence, they do not have the fear and the submission to just accept whatever I would try to do to them. And so it makes them less of a target. And we talked about that. So it's interesting that you use head, shoulders, knees, and toes. It's funny because growing up as a Guyanese, with a Guyanese woman, as a mother, my mom called the vagina the pretty rose.
Mine was the Looty Loo.
Look, you see?
The Looty
We
Loo.
it was never called. It was called a
Wow.
pretty rose, and it was, if you did you wash the pretty rose? Is the pretty rose clean? And it's actually really funny, right? Like if
Yeah.
you think about it, it's kind of
Sweet.
endearing.
It actually
It's sweet.
sounds sweet. Yeah.
It actually does sound sweet. I actually like the name, but it's funny because I don't have any nicknames with my kids. It's like, that's your
No.
penis. This is
Yeah.
your vagina.
Yeah.
These, and like we talk just like that. And our youngest Kaya, she's very much like, boys, you have a penis, I have a vagina. And she'll walk around and she'll just start looking at people and she'll be like, he has a penis?
Yep.
She has a vagina. And I'm like, girl, yes, but like, don't run up to them and say,
Yes.
can I ask to see it?
Yeah.
She will just, because she's that way. But she's 3. And so she's in this phase of what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And then further to that sexual assault piece, and we will move on from that, but when people use secretive words for their genitalia, it informs the abuser that this is an area of secrecy in their household, that they don't have a safe and informed space to go to, and then they can weaponize secrecy against them, right? Like, this is our secret, this is
Yeah.
a secret
Yeah.
spot. And so, and it's more than even like, it's even the question you asked about like 3 to 5, right? So it's so fascinating because you're just bucking up against people's what natural instincts are. I have a full course for teens about sex ed. It's 15 episodes with the Kinsey Institute and Crash Course, which Crash Course, if anyone goes to school, like you use that to get through school. And I wanted my niece and nephew to watch it so bad.
How old
They're
are they?
13 and 15. And I'm just like, I just don't want you guys to not have this information. So I was having the conversation, with my sister and her husband. I was like, I want them to watch it. I want them to this. And I was like, have to watch the class on female sexual anatomy and to learn your body. And like, she's like, I already know about that from health class. I'm like, okay, where's your clitoris? And then she was like, well, what's that? And he was like, her age. Her dad like pops in,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
age. I was like, you need to be a certain age to know your body parts?
Right.
That's
Right?
wild.
Like, and so
Yeah.
even to that question, at a 3-year-old age, my kids know a clitoris, a vulva, a vagina.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're touching your clitoris, hey, does that feel good? That's not an appropriate touch for public. That's only a private thing. No one should touch that. No one should look at you touch that. That's a private thing for yourself. For vulva, we wash your vulva in the bath. Mom can wash your vulva, but no one touches your clitoris, right? Dad can wash your vulva. We can do that, but that part is just for you. Vagina, there should be no interaction or conversation around that between 3 to 5 years old. That's not even a part that you need to know about. It's a self-cleaning system. I don't need you swishing up around in there anyway. So you're still not only just labeling the parts, but you're labeling them in specificity And that empowers them, I think, for life.
Yeah.
I think I need to do better at that myself, because I just always say vagina.
Yeah.
But like
That's true.
differentiate-
Vulva, clitoris.
Yes.
Do you know what vagina translates to? Sheath, which means a place you store a sword.
Right. That's right.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I like to store a penis in there. So.
Oh my. No, you don't. You just said you were tired of storing the penises
You know,
in there.
there's Ashley's gonna be 3 different
My
people in
goodness.
one episode. You know,
I'm 3 different people at all times.
at least.
Hello. Hi. Hi. No, I'm kidding.
Hello. Hi.
Okay, so we got to 3 to
3 to
5.
5.
So let's like get up in the ages.
Okay,
because I
yes.
do have another.
And also, yes, when we're towards the end, remind us the lesson,
Yeah, girl.
the class.
Oh, yes, crash course.
Yes, crash course.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
I thought you meant sexology certification. I was like, I love your zest.
Ah.
You're like, where do I?
She really
What
jumped
university
there.
do I sign up for?
No, ma'am.
I'm like,
I'll
yes.
let you be the one.
No,
to do
I
that.
love
That's
that.
your mission. It's okay.
Okay, 5 to 6 is first crush.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
That's true.
Yeah, that makes
Yo,
sense.
the way that my oldest is in 3rd grade, and they had whatever their version of sex ed is this year, and it was like a whole thing where they had to teach the parents what they were going to teach the kids before they teach the kids, and crushes were a part of the conversation, but everybody was so nervous about it.
Aw.
Like, what is it, 3rd grade? So they're 8 and 9. You're talking about 5 and 6 is first crush, and no judgment to these parents, but people were so concerned about their 3rd graders hearing the word crush.
Oh.
Baby,
And,
I
like-
had a boyfriend from age 4, 5, 6.
Same.
I
Well, we know, girl.
I was a certified lover girl.
Yes,
They
you are.
still
Literally
want her
are
to
never
this day.
single. I feel like that.
Except for that one time in 2012.
Listen, Melanie's gonna get snatched up.
This-
That's one thing.
she's been certified. I had a little boyfriend from 4 years old, and my parents knew about it. My mom knew about it.
What, Donna?
Donna was with it. Listen, his name was Frankie, and he
Frankie.
had a birthday party, and he would not start the birthday party until I showed up. And
Do you know what's crazy? You always paint Donna to be conservative, but Donna's one of my #1 followers.
Donna,
Same. Me and Donna be having a time in the
because
DMs.
Donna is a ball of fun unless you're her daughter. And
Ooh, that's
then
fair.
we're gonna ream you in real tight.
Unless you're
And-
4 with a boyfriend.
Unless you're 4 with a boyfriend. but of course there was nothing going on. But then once it became a reality,
Oh.
that's the thing. That's why I was asking about age. So let's keep going through age, because I think that's the thing, is that like at 4, even for me with my kids, like my son, certified lover boy,
Yeah, he is.
loves just the sweetest, has had the same crush since kindergarten. Talks about this girl. He's very dedicated to this girl.
And
I'm
he's
like,
going into 4th.
he's going into 4th now. We'll see. I think things are over now.
he got a
I'll
list
let
That's
you
a
know.
long run.
But he's always been that way. And for me, it's interesting between Jared, my husband Jared, because we have both husbands named Jared. Between Jared and I'm the one that's very much like, okay, so you have a crush? Like, I'm not making a big, like, you're too young. Like, I don't say
Yeah.
any of that.
Yeah.
Like, Jared's like, calm down on the crush talk. And I'm just like, okay, so how do you feel about her? Okay, so what's happening? I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm very open about that. But when, it gets to a point,
Gets to a point.
at a certain age now, the conversation has to become like, okay, well, like, is your crush turning into your girlfriend? Are you spending time with them? Are you being physical with them? And then I think that's the age part. So like, I'm interested to hear what
Yeah.
happens when in your guide to where we get to at like, what happens at 7, 8? What happens at 9, 10? What happens at 13, 15?
Yes.
Tell me.
But
I need to
think
be
it's
prepared.
like,
important
no,
just to
now.
note though too, because when we usually talk about when do we start talking to our kids about sex, people bring up condoms. They bring up like that dialogue. It's like very similar to starting your conversation with your kids about math, never having talked about it, and then at 16 being like quadratic formula,
Right.
and then they're like, when did we miss 1 + 1, right?
Yeah.
And then also too, if I'm not even in the culture of having these buildable conversations with you, when it gets to the most complicated, dynamic, intricate, intimate stuff, we don't have the language and the flow to go
Yeah.
there with each other. So I love the fact that you start these conversations young, because you're starting the fabric of the dynamic of we build upon this together, just like math. So if at 5 or 6 years old, I remember when I was in kindergarten, which I always like, I don't know what that is in America, because I feel like I was like 6 or maybe 5. But
Six. Yeah, that's the same.
Six is first grade
That's
in
the
but
same.
it may have
Canada.
been like SK.
5 is SK.
Yeah, SK. I had this deep crush on this guy. And I had this crush from kindergarten up till grade 8. So it was a long ass time. And my last name is Boodram. And the teacher abbreviated it on something and wrote like Shannon Boo. And somebody saw that and was like, Shannon, boo! And then my crush joined in. Guys, I was like devastated for like a month. I mean like heartbroken. So it's not just
Kids are
having the
such
conversation around it being cute.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
because everything is relative, right? So if that's your first crush, your first time being humiliated by them is your first heartbreak. So it's not this cutesy thing conversation. It's really getting into their world of like, what does that feel like for you? And like, what do they feel back towards you? And how does that make you feel? And encouraging them, you're beautiful, like giving them confidence, right? Even if that person doesn't give you that interest. So I feel like, again, like that buildable conversation thing is important.
So I know we're going up in age. I have to ask a question before I forget it. My kids, I have all boys. So they always ask me, like when swimming or whatever, like why do girls have to be covered up but not them? And I don't know how to explain that.
The patriarchy.
Yeah.
The patriarchy.
Yeah.
That's the answer?
Well, the answer, I mean, there's no difference in
I
nipples.
struggle. I try
No,
so
because
hard.
it's to that point, I've always let my daughters not wear shirts at home because their dad never wears a shirt. So when typically even the other every day, well, also I'm a very weird mother because when there's a full moon or it's sometimes I'll be like, I need to go charge my nipples, and like don't judge me. I like go outside without a top on, and I'd like sit in the back, and then I'll be like, you guys want to come charge your nipples with mommy? And like, so we like sit in the sun.
This is a different
Y'all looking
episode
at me
because
like-
my brain. First off, because I love you, I'm like, does this
But
actually
does-
do something?
I
Like, are
feel
we?
like it does. I'm one with the sun. I just feel like rejuvenated.
It
like,
also
I let the
prevents
sun
tan
needs to
lines.
touch my body.
Yeah, no, I'm here for the
No, it's
tan
not
lines.
that,
Not a
like,
tan
even-
line in sight.
Not a tan line in sight.
because I
You
charge my nipples.
Well, the thing, I'm just fascinated. There's no judgment. I'm just fascinated that I learned something fascinating about you.
Tata never has a
every
shirt on,
episode.
FYI. Obviously, this is not something that I share on Instagram. Like when you see my children, they're fully clothed.
Yeah.
But Chia is outside doing lawn, like outside without a shirt. She
But to
takes
that
her shirt
point,
off.
you wouldn't do that outside of your home. So like,
Yes.
I really do
Okay.
struggle because I don't like giving my kids answers like because that's what girls do and that's what boys do.
Right.
So I really struggle with this one because I'm like, I usually will say traditionally, you know, that's a private area for girls that, you know, you don't show. Kind of like, because I'm grown, I'm like, you don't see mine out in the streets.
So is it?
could,
Is
though.
it because they form into breasts? This is what I'm saying. Because when they're young, a boy's chest and a girl's chest, little boys, little girls look the same.
In Ohio, you can walk around without a shirt though as a woman. Just
Sure, there's
FYI.
there's
very
lots of
legal.
places you can. So
Yeah.
this is what I'm saying. Like,
Really? Yeah.
is I guess from your perspective, Shan, how would you approach that conversation? Because without being like the patriarchy and 4-year-olds looking at you like, what's the patriarchy? You'd be like, oh, sit down, hold on to your socks, hold on to your nipples in the sun.
Can't you teach a 4-year-old about the patriarchy?
But you know what? I think it's like if you're going to ask a complicated question, you're going to get a complicated
Yeah, I
answer.
agree. Right.
And they're just going to be like, okay, do we have popsicles?
Right.
Yeah.
And then
So
later
that's what I'm
on,
saying.
they're going to ask it again. And
Yes.
he'll explain it again.
Yeah.
I've talked about where babies come from a zillion times, right? So it's not like they're going to retain the information. And it's okay. And sometimes it's fun as an adult.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'll be like, let me just flex my knowledge.
Let's see how this
yeah.
goes.
America was founded in
okay, so
Neuter.
what would you say in that scenario?
Yeah.
to Cody's
Yes.
sons.
Yeah.
I'd say what you said, exactly that you know, chests are exactly the same, but when girls go through puberty, they develop buds and they turn into breasts. Breasts are sexualized in our culture. Now breasts are for breastfeeding, that is their purpose, but in our culture they can be sexualized, and so it's not appropriate for people to look at people's breasts. So we often make little girls as well cover up, just because when they get older, most likely they'll be expected to cover up.
Thank you.
There's the language.
But it's in your own, you know what I mean? Like
No,
that wasn't
no,
a great
that's
example
perfect.
either, but
Basically,
I just
a
mean
shirt is a hijab for the breast.
Okay.
that. Why not?
Okay,
Why
okay,
not?
BB Ashley.
Why? It's the same.
It is the same thing. You
Yeah.
gotta cover up your hair because it's sexualized too, and everything. Yeah, it's just, that's what it is. I
Guys,
just want to be
should
naked.
we
I'll use that
take
one
our
as
shirts
well.
off?
Should we take? I have a dress. I'd have to take my whole dress off.
I would.
My husband is on
Once
the
I
other
get
side
my
of this wall.
titties
He's
done.
the one who'll be pissed off.
Once I remove my titties from my stomach back to my chest, I will take
Oh,
my shirt
no.
off.
Oh my God. Okay, more ages.
Okay,
more
more ages.
ages. Okay, let's go. Let's go. All right.
going somewhere.
This is important. Between 6 to 8 is cognitive curiosity about the details of sex. So it's very
makes sense.
literal, and like when you're asking about why do some have bathing suits on, why some don't. Why do you have a penis? Why do I not have a dangly thing? It's very literal answers. Now they're starting to put it together. Oh, this is for people who are in relationships, people who like each other. I'd say it's important because 6 to 8 is also when people start having private lives. So before then, you think it, you say it out loud. When you get a little older, you get the concept of I'm not supposed to say certain things because it makes my parents look at me bad or adults look at me bad. So you start to have more of an internal world and more of a secret world. And if your understanding of sex and relationships is not being discussed outwardly, know that it's being discussed inwardly and they're coming to their own conclusions. So that's why like stuff like Grey's Anatomy is really a great tool for these ages. Of you're watching shows that have medical information in it, but they also have relational information in it. So you can be like, oh, what do you think about Dr. So-and-so, Dr. So-and-so's relationship? And does anyone in your school like kind of have a crush or a boyfriend and girlfriend like that? So you're not having it about your life, which can be, I think it's fine. I loved hearing about my parents' intimate world. Some people didn't, but I know a lot about my parents' intimate world. My dad was more open than my mom was. My mom only became open once I was like later, when I was doing sex education. I was like, this would have been helpful. Because you made yourself seem as if it was so neat and perfect and only when I was in love. And my mom was having one night stands. Going to the, but it was not the story that I was told. So I always say this like as a joke, but I was having sex with carrots by the time I was 14, right? I was just like so horny and in need of anything. Listen,
I'm not judging. I'm processing.
Yeah,
I'm not judging. I'm processing.
because I had to picture.
It's the way she just slid it out there, just dropped it out there. Just like, let's see where this went.
I was
processing,
picturing
I'm
different
listening.
carrots.
Continue.
I was just like I even think about that when we're talking about what's appropriate for a 16-year-old.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys experience this, but my unreasonable drive to be penetrated in my teens is like something I've never experienced before. And it wasn't even like I don't, to this day, I don't orgasm from penetration. I require outer clitoral stimulation, but just the obscene urge that I had to just, even when I had sex with a partner, it was like once they were in, I was like, I could be done.
Wow.
Like that was just my body required that. So you guys are not relating, so that's just a me
No,
thing.
no,
But
no,
that's
no.
fine.
Processing slower than you.
Listen, you have a million degrees, and so you are fully here when it comes to your sexuality and also awareness. I think for most people, I would say even the three of us, and I think I'm probably a little more woo than they are. I have to process what you're saying. I feel like you need to come back because, like, equally,
girl.
I don't. I need my clitoris stimulated. I don't like orgasm from penetration either, but I need to be penetrated. So I understand that. Even to this day, I like need to be penetrated, but I was actually just thinking like, did I feel like that?
Well, that's an evolutionary,
16,
obvious
17,
necessity, right? Like we're here to survive, to thrive, and to procreate.
Yeah.
So that's a drive that's built into us. So I just never want to discount drive and make it all very cognitive.
Yeah,
So-
no, but I think as a teenager I did too.
I want to take it back to the kids for a second.
Oh, yes.
Because we were in the 8 to 9 or 6 to 8, and I heard a statistic or whatever. If you're not talking to your kids about sex by age 9, someone else is.
Oh, wow.
Like that's just like the
Yeah,
number.
that sounds about the first time that people are exposed to porn is between 9 and 11 years old.
That's so young.
So somebody else.
And I think people go, well, not my kid. My kid's not exposed to that. But if another kid is, or what, like
Right.
we underestimate what it means that they're exposed, right? It could be third hand. It could be someone
Yeah.
talking to
At
them about it.
school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I always bring that statistic up because I feel like I think about it. I feel like not enough people take it seriously. We
Yeah.
even had a Q&A once where someone was like, should I be talking to my daughter at 12 about sex? And we were like, yeah, girl.
Yeah, girl.
But I just wanted to bring that up and get your thoughts on it to ensure that that's an actual,
I haven't heard that stat, but it sounds
Okay.
like it makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, wait. So now what age are we at?
Okay, should we? Are we
Yeah,
having?
we're going.
We're
Okay,
gonna wrap
go.
it
All
up,
right.
but we gotta keep
Okay,
going.
but should I just blast through the rest
Yes,
of the
go
ages?
ahead.
Let's
Yeah.
go. All right. So 10 to 12 is first goal-driven masturbation.
Goal driven, like
When-
for orgasm.
Because when you're genital exploration between like 0 and 2, it's not goal-driven.
Yeah.
You're doing it purposefully because it feels good and you want an outcome out of it. 12 to 13 is first romantic relationship. 15, first kiss. 15 to 16, first instance of fooling around / heavy petting. 16 to 17 is sexual debut, your first sexual experience around, that's the average age. And 12 to 17, every 68 seconds, an American is sexually assaulted. 15% are 12 to 17 years old. And a good percentage of them are assaulted by people 11 to 17 years old. So not discounting their peers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
And 30% of boys experience sexual assault in their lifetime and 50% of girls. So this is not a conversation that's just about young girls either. And then last stat, which I think is interesting, is The first instance of experiencing liberation from shame around sexuality is late 20s, early 30s.
I believe that.
I
Yeah.
believe that.
Yeah, I believe that for sure.
I believe that.
So if I'm listening to this and I have a 11-year-old, whatever, girl or boy, and I've never had any of these conversations, and I'm listening to this episode and I'm freaking out, what would you tell me to do right away? What resources? What conversation? What?
Yeah, I think I'd get hip to like how to meet them where they're at, and come prepared with like language. The first thing you don't want to do is ever like provide misinformation and then prove that you're a non-credible source, right? Like even if you start the conversation with like sex is only for people who love each other, and I'm 11 and I've already watched porn, I'm like, ma'am, it's certainly not. Right?
Certainly, they do not love
They
each
do
other.
not love each other. He choked the shit out of her ass.
Well, you know.
Well, you know,
See?
sometimes people love you, depending on where you're at,
It's debatable. No, go
whatever
ahead.
position you're in.
Oh my gosh, that's so great.
No, but it's interesting to hear you say that, because I think that's the scope. I think a lot of people can. It's helpful to find yourself.
Yeah.
Where were you in this guide? Where did you see yourself? Did you relate to what those things? And now that I'm a parent, I definitely related to a lot of the markers of those age groups. And now that I have children, I'm also seeing it in my children in younger. So it is helpful. It's really, really helpful to have the guide. So where can
Yes.
people find the guide?
On my website, it's on loversbyshan.com. I have a section for resources, and I have a bunch of free resources. And this is
Do you hear how she says
Oh,
resources?
yeah. Did you just see me
course.
smile?
Thank you.
Just reminding everyone that
They
they're Canadian.
always call me out because I say resources, and they're like, "It's resources," and I'm like, "It's resources." Isn't that what I said?
Resources. It's fine.
I don't know the difference. but-
There's not one. It's
Yeah.
all
There's
made
a
by
Z
You
women.
guys
in the
knew where to go,
Canadian
so we got to
resources.
the point.
We guess.
It doesn't matter. It's not our language
Guys,
anyways.
this was so much fun. I'm sad it's over.
It's not over. Wait.
It's not over?
It's not. It's never over.
Okay.
Girl,
Do you know what it is I have a problem with? I'm not minding my business because I'm seeing your producer flash 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah,
10 minutes
it
ago.
is over.
20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Listen,
we do
Let
have
me
to
mind my
mind
business.
Hannah knows that we don't listen properly.
have to.
We have to.
We have a guest.
We do have a guest.
Hi, Tommy Oliver.
Hi, Tommy Oliver.
Oliver.
Shan almost got your wife to take off her shirt on camera.
Almost.
And why did
She
you call
also-
these toes, these shoes, granny toes, granny shoes?
By the way,
Those said I had are sexy
no. I was going to buy these same
Those are
shoes, and
very
you just
sexy.
confirmed for me that I'm buying them.
You don't find those sexy? You're
You
not
should
thinking about
reframe.
running your toe along the
think
arch.
We
so
do not
that's
have
where,
time to process
Okay,
Tommy
you're not
Oliver's
even on
thoughts.
the microphone, my love. I do want to shout out. Okay, lovers.
Yes.
Give it to us again.
Lovers by Shan.
Loversbyshan.com for the resources.
That's right.
I'm sorry, I'm done.
right.
Shan also has a MasterClass.
I do have a master.
Okay.
Yes.
That's on the MasterClass. And
Yes.
Is it called
Amazing.
sexology? Is it
It's called The Art of Sex Appeal.
the art of
love
sex
But it's really
appeal?
just the art of fucking too. It's like literally an hour on everything: spots,
Wow.
positions,
Oh,
arousal,
I'll definitely
erogenous
be watching
zone.
that.
Yeah.
And
Now,
then
do
we
you
also
learned about the
have
triangle, the gaze, the
the
triangle,
gaze,
the gaze.
yes, the sexy eye triangle.
Sexy eye triangle.
Gaze.
the
With a
gaze
Z.
with a Z. Yeah. The
Yes,
teenagers.
gaze.
I thought you said the gays. I just wanted to be clear.
The teenage sex ed course is
It's
that
on-
also on the website?
So that's on Crash Course, which is a YouTube channel. So if you go
Okay.
to Crash Course and then type in sex ed, there's 15 episodes. There's an episode on abortion. There's an episode on sexual assault
This
and
is
consent.
amazing.
There's an episode around the different anatomy for both men and then for women. Or
And can I just say too,
I know.
as the parents who like maybe you're not talking about any of this at all, I'm a big fan of like go research it for yourself. Like
Yes.
consume all of this information as soon as you know that you are delinquent in telling your child about it. Consume this information to prepare yourself to feel more confident in the conversation, and then go to them
Or
quickly.
also watch it with your teenager, because that's what I would do, and have
Yeah.
those uncomfortable conversations. Because to your point,
Yeah.
if you're not talking to your child about sex, and if they want to have sex, they're just going to do it privately. You want at the end of the day, if you're a parent, you want your child to be safe.
But you know what? Let's even downgrade the word from having sex because that I think is triggering because it's
Okay.
not even that. Just engaging in their sexual self
There you go.
to any capacity.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Woot! This was amazing.
it is.
Thank you, Shan.
Come back.
Thanks for having
In
me.
like
This was
3
a
hours.
joy.
Yay!
Yay!
Far away 5.
Far away five.
Timmy Melanie.
We're connected.
I was definitely gonna.
Okay, well, thanks, and that's
love
it.
'em.
Oh,
And
yes,
that's
if you
it.
have any questions for the mamas, email us at podcast.
It's her first day.
at blacklove.com or DM us on IG at the Mamas Den Podcast. And for more Black Love stories and articles, check out blacklove.com.
We will absolutely do a roundup of all of this information on blacklove.com. Period. Okay, bye.
Toodles.